You weren't told the truth about women, not the full truth. You were handed a script, wrapped in fairy tales and feel-good fantasies, and told to memorize your lines like a well-behaved boy. Be nice, be patient, love hard, suffer quietly. And when it all falls apart, when love turns cold, when affection morphs into control, don't you dare speak about it. Because if you do, the world won't comfort you. It'll crucify you. Weak men are applauded for tolerating betrayal. Strong men, they're labeled bitter, toxic, dangerous, simply for noticing. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, saw through it all. He ruled Rome, but more importantly, he ruled himself. He spoke not from rage, but from relentless clarity. He understood what most modern men cannot face. Some women, not all, but some, are chaos in disguise. If a man hasn't mastered his mind, he'll be enslaved by his desire. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, he wrote. But what if your thoughts are poisoned? What if the warmth you crave is just the bait? The modern man isn't just undisciplined. He's spiritually neutered. He chases affection like a dog chases scraps. He confuses attention with love, sex with connection, control with care. And when he's left drained, emotionally, financially, spiritually, he doesn't understand why. But Marcus would have told him, look inward. You ignored the signs because they threatened your comfort. And comfort is where men go to die slowly. There is a kind of woman who doesn't seek union. She seeks ownership. She doesn't want to build with you. She wants to reshape you. Her affection is performance. Her silence is a tool. She studies your weaknesses, then uses them against you. And the moment you start chasing her approval, you've already lost. Marcus fought his greatest battles not on the battlefield, but within himself. He knew real strength isn't the ability to conquer others, but to deny the desires that would enslave you, especially when those desires are fed to you by someone who wants to control, not connect. This isn't misogyny, it's war. A war for your focus, your mission, your soul. The kind of man who speaks these truths isn't hateful. He's awake. And that's why the world fears him. This world prefers men weak, distracted, sedated. And the woman who thrives in this system, she feeds on that weakness. She feeds on the man who's forgotten who he is. If you think love should hurt, if you believe chaos is passion, if you confuse manipulation for femininity, you've already surrendered. Marcus didn't say avoid women. He said master yourself. And from that mastery, discern. Some women bring peace. Others bring destruction. The difference isn't in their beauty. It's in your soul's readiness to see clearly. The man who cannot sit in silence, who cannot walk alone, who cannot say no to pleasure, will always fall. He's not choosing love. He's escaping himself. And in that escape, she enters, not as a lover but as a captor. She watches your hunger, feeds it just enough to keep you reaching. She flatters, not to lift you, but to bind you, until one day you don't recognize yourself in the mirror. You've become a puppet, desperate, hollow, forgotten. What happened? Simple. You handed her the pen. You let her write your story. You thought you were the author, but she was the editor. And now you're afraid to leave, not because you love her, but because without her, you don't know who you are. That's not love. That's identity theft. And Marcus would have reminded you, no one can steal what you never gave. But if you offered your soul to someone who sees you as a pawn, don't cry when you're treated like one. There comes a moment when a man must face the abyss of his own weakness, and either rise or be consumed. You know the kind of woman I speak of. You've met her. You may still be under her spell. And unless you wake up, brutally, unapologetically, you will never reclaim your soul. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write about virtue, death, or fate. He wrote about power, and what happens when you give yours away to someone who never earned it, never honored it, and never meant to return it. That's the beginning, because once you see this truth, raw, sobering, unfiltered, you can't unsee it, and what comes next will either forge you into iron or shatter what's left of you. A man doesn't break from pain, he breaks from betrayal, not because his body fails, but because the lies he lived by can't hold the truth. You were told love always heals, that femininity is always nurturing, that if you give everything you'll be cherished. But Marcus, who buried his children, who stood against plagues, betrayal, and war, would have laughed. He knew better. He knew that both the world and the women in it are not here to comfort your fragility. They're here to test your sovereignty. Some women don't want a partner. They want a subject. They want a man they can bend, mold, drain. And the moment you trade your spine for her smile, she stops seeing a man and starts seeing a tool. And tools are not loved. They are used. You can always tell when a man has been broken by a woman like this. His eyes dim. His speech falters. His confidence is built on sand. He apologizes for his instincts. He hesitates when he used to lead. Why? Because she taught him to doubt himself. Because every time he stood tall, she cried. Every time he acted from strength, she played the victim, and he gave in until he forgot who he was. But Marcus knew. A man's worth isn't found in comfort, but in conflict, especially the war within his own heart. Guard your inner citadel, he said, that sacred, unshakable place, because the most dangerous enemy won't come with weapons. She'll come with silence, with tears, with a look that makes you question yourself. Strength isn't how much you lift. It's whether a glance can knock you off center. If your peace can be stolen by someone's disapproval, then you're not a king. You're a puppet in armor. Power without self-mastery is decoration, and self-mastery begins with discernment. Not hate, not bitterness, discernment, to see beauty and recognize the trap beneath it, to feel desire and still say, no, not this time. The world fears that kind of man, not because he's cruel, but because he's immovable. He walks alone when needed. He's not swayed by guilt. He doesn't need permission to be whole. That man is rare, and that man is free. Marcus Aurelius became that man in the corruption of Rome, surrounded by whispers and velvet-cloaked vipers. You must become him now. Yes, it means you'll be alone at times. Misunderstood, called names. Cold, toxic, too much. But every time you choose truth over illusion, you gain something deeper, your own respect. And no woman, no person can break a man who respects himself. Most men won't make it. They'll nod, feel inspired, then go back to begging, apologizing, chasing. But maybe you're not one of them. Maybe the lie no longer holds power. Maybe you're ready to remember who you were before you gave your fire away for affection, before you bowed to softness that came with chains. Marcus wouldn't have told you to hate women. He would have told you to see clearly, to study her as you study yourself. Some women walk beside kings, others bury them. The one you attract depends on the man you become. So become him. Kill the boy who needed to be loved at any cost. Bury the beggar inside. Let them call you cold. You'll know better. You'll feel your soul return to your chest. You'll feel the silence of real power. That is what Marcus meant when he wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." And being one starts when you stop giving your heart to anyone who doesn't bleed when they hold it. This is not inspiration. This is initiation. Choose.